as the kids would say less. Let's go. All right. I got my hands on them. Took a bit. Not the color that I initially wanted, but we got them. The more that I wear it, the more that I look at it, the more that I think about it. This is not the Pegasus that we think it is. This is actually more in line with the Air Max 360 line from the 2015, 2016, 2017 when they were doing the year numbers. This feels more like that, and I'll explain why. Let's get into it. We are talking about the Nike Air Pegasus Premium. No number designation, just premium. It's beautiful. It's top of the line. It's everything that you've heard. It's not a Pegasus. Hot take. It's just not a Pegasus. I love it, but I also love the Pegasus line. The Pegasus line is one that I started in when I started running track so many years ago as a little kid. That was the first good shoe that I ever had. And it was in the single digit Pegasus at that point. We are now into the 40s of the Pegasus iterations, which makes perfect sense. I'm about to turn 51. So I've had one of every Pegasus the whole time they've been alive. And this ain't a Pegasus, y'all. This is an Air Max. We'll get into why it might be in the Pegasus line, because they want it to be a running shoe. Now, this is going to be used for everything under the sun, from fashion, gym, running. Let's face it, you spend that much on a shoe, people are probably going to get as much as they can out of this shoe. I'll put up a picture of my 2015 Silver Air Max 360, the reflective version. That's the shoe that I referenced as soon as I felt this one, because that's what it's like. Upper midsole, outsole, like we always do. The upper on this, extremely breathable. Lots of overlays, lots of fusing, lots of different materials. Platinum swoosh, let's get into it. The mesh here wide open, to the point where once I have my foot in it, if my sock has any writing on it, like my Hanes or like my Bombas, you can see the word through the mesh. It's really wide open. Great fit, but it's gonna take a couple of wears, maybe even a few days to loosen up. It comes really, really tight packed and stiff. In my US size 12, I was scared that I might have gotten them too small. But with all the fusing and overlays, they just need some time to open up. Really, really comfortable after they do that, obviously because of the midsole, but we're going to get to that. Don't rush. Don't rush. Patience. Now, I'll get to the first thing, the obvious thing that made me think of the Pegasus 20. Bleh. I'll get to the first thing. The obvious thing that made me begin to think about the 2015 Air Max in particular. That 3M fusing that goes all the way around is something that we first saw back in 2015. That was a big thing on that reflective Air Max. They're a gorgeous shoe, and many of you probably know that shoe. Now, the Air Max line, especially with that 360 bubble, went the lifestyle route. It was a high stack. It was really comfortable. It was a boat. It was wide. And the Air Max became almost like Nike's old man New Balance in a way, where it was just super comfortable. I remember the very first pair I got was the tennis ball colored 2012. The 360 was super comfortable. I was in Vegas. I packed the wrong shoes. I hit the first shoe store I could, and I bought the most comfortable shoe at the time, which was an Air Max 360. It's way more Air Max than it is Pegasus. The tongue is unique. It's kind of a almost fabric or neoprene tongue, and it's completely perforated, like mega perforated, and it's pretty interesting. The airflow is great. I love it a lot. Comfortable padding, but I think that's what adds to some of that tightness when you first put it on, is some of that padding needs to be pushed in and worn down a little bit. The platinum accents are just dope. You know, platinum swoosh shining. Platinum swoosh on the inside shining. Love it. Gilly lacing system. pulls tight, but it's already snug. So I had to kind of fight the laces the first time just to get them to cinch up. But they're going to work out just fine. Super comfortable. That's funny. They dropped a little pin for Nike. I love that. That's actually really cool. With the BRS, Blue Ribbon Sports, estimated 1967, the start of the company we know as Nike. Kind of big. You don't immediately equate it to performance. You immediately equate it to style, but it's got some stuff going. Right there on those side panels, you can see it's the same perforated material as the tongue for the breathability. And it's overlaid with this really thin micro mesh material. It's really breathable. I mean, again, overlays on overlays, fusing on fusing, but it's good. It's good. It's going to be a really durable shoe. Let's get into that midsole, because that's the whole party. So you're working with 3 different materials in this midsole, okay? The top layer, Zoom X. They lay it out for you right there. The midsole, the meat of the sandwich, is the actual Zoom Air bubble. And I find it really interesting. Nike Running approved for air travel. Okay, that's kind of funny. And then the React X layer on the bottom as the wedge that helps push you forward into your gait. The Zoom X foam, you're sitting right up on top. You don't sink in very much. And we all know how soft Zoom X foam is. I think they put that up near your foot so that you felt that immediate plush comfort. Here's why I think that. React foam is pretty harsh against the foot, and we all know that a Zoom Air bubble pushes back. It's ever present when you're walking, running. It's all the way up top. The only way, and I've got some full-length Zoom Airs. Here, I'll show you. Full-length Zoom Air is not a new thing. It's just an updated thing. This is the Zoom All Out Olympic Edition from Rio, I believe, which would have been the 2016. This one is beautiful, but one thing about this Zoom Air, that full Zoom Air unit, man, it stays present. It pushes back on you, which was good for performance, but for comfort, it tended to wear out its welcome a little bit because it was always pushing back. It never wears out. It never wears thin. It never gets compressed to the point where you've worn a groove in it. It's always there. Putting that Zoom X foam on top is going to allow you to make an impression. Now, you don't sink very far down into it. You're still up top of it. That makes the ride really, really comfortable. Sitting under that, sandwiched in between, you've got your Air Zoom unit. Now, this is a pretty chunky Air Zoom unit, but you kind of have to control that so you don't get a max out of it. It's about as thick as some of those 4-foot Air, but the heel unit, we all know the Air Max unit is usually pretty huge. But this Zoom Air unit is unique because it is the first that I know of that is sculpted. So it may not be a plated shoe, but this Zoom Air platform that it's sitting on is pretty hard. And then you can see it swoops down into place for a slight S curve to match the ball of your foot and the roll of your gait. It's comfy. Zoom Air is probably my favorite Nike cushioning of all time. I've said that before. Zoom Air is my favorite cushioning from Nike. But I know that the wearability of it has a short daily life where you got to get out of them, give your foot a rest. As I went to work out in these the last couple days, and then I used them in fashion. I got styled up and went out for dinner. It's always there. You're never sinking in. Doing its job as a propulsive material to compress and then give you a quick response. The React X foam on the bottom is maybe not the show, but it might be the MVP. React X foam is stout, but still plush. It's very good. It gives that deadening feel where every step doesn't feel impactful or hard. You roll pretty nicely, which is why I believe they put that ReactX foam in the heel wedge to get that S curve going on the zoom unit. Impressive. I mean, it's a feat of engineering, and it's just gaudy. It's gaudy good, like gluttonously good. To put that much of your cushioning, you put the entire shooting match into a shoe, and it works. It absolutely works. The stability of it, you can kind of see little heel flare, so it's pretty stable, although you're sitting up pretty high. It's just a marvel, and it's beautiful. I'm going to definitely use it to work out. I'm going to try and get the black version because this white one's just going to get dirty as hell. But I'm definitely going to do some work in it. It's built for it. It's useful for it. And from what I've done so far, I'm really impressed. But again, I'm easily impressed when I really wanted something. I really wanted this one. I wanted the original release day colorway with the orange bubble because it's so striking. But this platinum one with the sort of like bluish tinted bubble is just as good. Outsole now. The outsole, Nike's never going to get away from the waffle pattern. They achieved perfection from day one. And they're going to keep doing a version of the waffle pattern. Now, this one is all white on the bottom, but you can see the heel lugs rolling into some exposed midsection foam. That's the ReactX. And then it rolls into a pretty beefy forefoot. And that's all rubber right there. There's no ReactX on that front side. The ReactX just sits there on the back. And then they put the little tail on there for Pegasus. Like, yeah, I get it, but no, it's not a Pegasus. This is more of a Max. It's just more of a Max. High voice. It's just more of a Max. But if you can get your hands on them, try them. Try them out. They're not the lightest shoe. They don't fit the current performance mold. This is definitely something different. But I think they called it the Pegasus to give it credit, to get back to a performance pedigree. That is the Air Pegasus, the Air Zoom Pegasus Premium. It's a good one. Check them out. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks a lot. Peace.